Hello, welcome back. In this video, we're going to discuss some of the example problems on the interpretation for chi-square statistics. And this is part 2 of chi-square statistics. But if you haven't watched my previous video for part 1 for chi-square statistics on one example problem, I would strongly recommend that you should watch that video before you come to part 2, because in that part 1 video, we have explained one example problem on how do we apply a chi-square statistics for a given problem statement and also the definition. But here in this video, we're going to focus a little bit extended version of one example problem that we have already seen, and then the actual interpretation of the chi-square test and the example problems as well. Right? Now, in this video, in my previous video, you would have probably seen this problem statement, but there is a little bit extended version of this problem, because in the previous video we have been asked with a question to find the chi-square value at 1% level of significance, but this has been a little bit extended to give the same chi-square value at 5% level of significance. Now, we already found based on the previous video that 9.82 is going to be the chi-square value. Now we need to apply the chi-square table and then identify whether or not there exists a relationship between travel time and the stress level or not. Alright. Now, like I already discussed in my previous video, H naught is always taken as that no relationship between travel time and stress level, and H1 is always taken as if there is a relationship between travel time and stress level. Now the degree of freedom is 4. 9.82 is the value that we have already calculated. Now we need to go to the chi-square distribution table, but since the question is little bit extended to verify the level of significance at 5%, we also should take the 5% significance level value, which is 9.49 here, which is at 5% level of significance at 4 degrees of freedom as well. And 13.82 is going to be for 1% level of significance, right? Now, based on the previous video, at 1% level of significance, we know that 13.82 is the chi-square table value, and since our observed value is 9.82, which is lesser than this, because the whole region lesser than 13.82 is going to be always H naught acceptance region. Anything lesser than this value is going to be always H naught acceptance region. And since our value is falling under this region, we are going to accept H naught at 1% level of significance. Remember that, because without trying to mention the level of significance is of no use, and it is not going to make sense. Now, if we try to see what is our value for at 5% level of significance, at 5% level of significance, we found that 9.49 is the chi-square table value from the table, whereas our observed value or our calculated value is 9.82, which means we already know that anything, the value as per the given table, anything lesser than that value is going to be always H naught acceptance region, and anything in this region is going to be H1's region, right? H1 can be accepted. So since our value is 9.82, which is in this region, right? Because 9.49, which is going to be a little bit somewhere here, because the chi-square value is here, whereas our value is going to be somewhere here. And since this is falling under the H1 acceptance region, we should say that at 5% level of significance, H1 can be accepted, which means there is definitely a relationship between the travel time and the stress level. But you have to be careful when we say definitely, because the value is trying to get a little bit different between 1% and 5%, right? So we should probably be careful when we say definitely. Rather, I would say that there may be a relationship between a travel time and the stress level at 5% level of significance. All right. Now, let's look at few test problems where in one of the problems you may probably be asked with a question that There are two sample scores taken from standard distribution, and let us assume that you're trying to square each score and sum of the squares. What is the probability that sum of these two squares will be 6 or higher? Now, if you are being asked with a question like this, we should go with simply chi-square, because chi-square always deals with squaring the sum of the values, right? Squaring the score and the sum of the squares. But since they have said that there are two scores, it should be the degrees of freedom should be 1, right? Now, in this case, it has to be chi-square. Now, let's look at another example where the question is about to test the relationship between lung ailments and the smokers or non-smokers. Whether or not smokers and the lung ailments are related. Between rows to the columns, they are related or not. So it is a straightforward chi-square problem, because the question is about the relationship between smokers and their lung ailments, right? So this has to be chi-square. Let's look at another example where to identify the significant difference in the performance of salesperson using suitable method. Now the question is not about the relationship. Remember that. The question is about significant difference in the performance of a salesperson's. When we say salespersons, it is between John and Kathy, between John and Bob, and between Kathy and Bob, but not John and their monthly sales. That is not the question here. The question is between the salespersons, right? And since it is not dealing with the relationship between John and their sales, Kathy, the salesperson, and their sales, the question is not that. We cannot apply chi-square, and we should probably use ANOVA, because the data sets, the number of data sets is greater than 2, and we should use ANOVA here. Now, if you're not sure about what is ANOVA, please wait for my future video that I'm going to discuss about ANOVA as well. But in this case, it's not a chi-square problem, right? Now, let's look at another example where the question is, can we use chi-square to identify the smoking and the lung ailments are related based on the given data? The question is again related to the chi-square, because it is about the relationship between smokers and the lung ailments. But hold on, can we apply chi-square? The answer is no, because though the question is about the relationship between smokers and the lung ailments, but the data is not given in the actual numbers. It has to be given only in actual numbers, and chi-square can be applied only if the number given is in actual numbers, whereas it is given in the percentage. So you cannot apply chi-square if the data is given in percentages or in proportions or in some kind of ratio. You cannot apply chi-square test for that. So the answer is no for this question. All right. Had it been given in the actual numbers? Yes, but that is what we have already seen. Now there is one more example where a survey conducted by a company Yo-Yo is given below on the number of correct answers to test the IQ level for husbands and their wives. And the company is claiming that husband is having more IQ level than wife based on this data set. That's what the company Yo-Yo is claiming. Use a suitable test to validate the hypothesis. But the question again, it's not a test of independence. It's about husband's IQ level and the wife's IQ level between the something similar to what we have seen previously, right? Between the salespersons, between the rows, but not rows and columns. So you cannot apply chi-square test for this question. Rather, you should apply the hypothesis testing. Now there is one more question where is there a relationship between type of diabetes and the location where they are living based on the given data set. Now remember that there is a relationship question. Whenever we talk about relationship question, it's a straightforward chi-square. But before that, you should ensure that the numbers are in actual numbers, and the question is about the relationship between rows and the columns, but not between the rows. if the question is asked in such a way that is there a relationship between the type of pre-diabetes and gestational diabetes and type 1 diabetes, the answer is no for chi-square, because you cannot apply that. Rather, you should find the difference using a different hypothesis testing like ANOVA. But in the question, this question, the question is about relationship, and that's why we have to apply chi-square here. Now, in short, the summary is if it is a row versus columns relation, then it is chi-square. If it is between rows, it is ANOVA or hypothesis testing. Like I said, ANOVA can be applied only if it is greater than 2 rows, right? But we can discuss about more on ANOVA in future videos. And one more important point is chi-square works on the actual numbers but not on proportion or percentage of the given value. I think this is very helpful to help you to demystify on your doubts on when to apply chi-square and when not to apply chi-square test. I hope this video is useful to you. Please keep watching this space for more videos on statistics and probability and the data science as well. Thank you so much.